What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Just another robbery, people. Just another robbery. Oops, there goes another robbery. Uh, long time no see from everybody. Long time no see. Apologize, had vacations, family stuff going on, all that good shit. But I'm here on the Saturday to kick it with y'all, brothers and ladies. Ladies and gentlemen, I should say. See who we got here in this chat. Michael Forgood. What's going on? What's going on? AQ Henry's Kennels. Salute my brother. Check him out on YouTube. Solid dog, solid videos. Shout out Vinny. Salute. 614 Tree. Salute. Salute. King Isolated. Hey, Mr. Thompson, quick question to start off live. Would you be considering bringing a cold female? And what's the outcome of those puppies if so? Well, I may cook up on that one. Appreciate that question, King Isolated. Soul Power, aka Gamed Up Kennels. What's going on, my brother? Salute, salute. Check him out as well. 614. It's Peak, Dirty Glove Kennels. What's going on, my brother? Salute, salute, salute. ODG Bulldog. Salute, salute. Mike G. We all got Bulldogs. Shout out. 614 Tree if I didn't catch you coming into the building. Coming into the building. Uh, what is this question? The King Isolated. Well, this about breeding cold dogs. This is a question from King Isolated. He caught me early while I'm opening up the show. Breeding cold dogs, man. I hate cold fucking dogs. I hate everything about them. I remember who was having a conversation with. I think it was I was on one of them Buck Lives, and they did a cook up on cold versus curves. And if you had a pistol to your head, which one would you choose out of the two? And I was one of the people that opted if you had a gun to my head, of course, because we know everybody like, oh God, you breeding curves. No, if you had a pistol in my head and you said I had to pick between a cold bitch and a cur bitch, me personally, I would pick the cur. Now, some people debate me on that, but it's kind of hard because there's levels of cur. You can have a 20-minute cur. You can have a 30-minute cur. You can have a 50-minute cur, a 1 hour cur. All of there's levels to curness. Even though they're all curs, there is a level. So I opted to take a cur dog before I would take a cold dog because a lot of people don't really know what the definition of a cold dog is. Cold dog is just going to stand there. A cold dog won't defend itself. And that's something kind of hard to visually see and go along with. At least with a cur, it attempted to achieve the task at hand, but quit in the process of doing it. But let's not forget, it attempted to achieve the task. A cold dog will never attempt it. So it's really like you're dealing with a statue. So if you got a pistol in my head, that's where I was leaning. But, in the perfect world, ideal situation, you don't really want to be breeding to any of that stuff if you can. Find some good dogs. A lot of people bred to certain stuff. And, nobody knows what's done in the closet when you're dealing in these dogs, what some breeders choose to do or some handlers' conditions. You never know. But as far as your own actions, try to find some good dogs where you don't have to worry about breeding the cold dogs or cur dogs because all of this stuff eventually turns back up in the stew. Whatever ingredients you put in your pot, you can't be mad when somebody tastes it. So my overall opinion on it is try to find some good dogs instead of just settling for stuff that if it comes back around the corner, it's going to be an issue. Usually, it shows its face at the worst time when dealing in these dogs. So have that in mind too. Welcome down, Ram. What's going on, my brother? It's Pete, Dirty Glove. Who else did I? Paul Withers. Appreciate you swinging through. Appreciate everybody swinging through for this Saturday show. We switched up the times a little bit. What's going on, PBC? You got your camera on too, brother. When you get a chance, and you still got yourself muted. You can give Fred a second to get himself together.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to go back. It's kicking
I
my.
can't see you now. You looking good. Oh, you got the camera. You just want just back out, exit the studio, and you go back to that screen again. Or if you just want me to put you out and you re-enter, hit stop cam first. But you sound great though, brother. You sound real good.
Thank you. I think you need to put me out again. I don't. I
Hold on.
I don't know.
I put you out for it. Just hit the stop cam and then do your audio thing and come back in the studio. I'll see you when you pop up. King Isolated, what's good? Jody Sanders, what's good? Martinez Game Dogs, what's good? Shout out to Martinez Game Dogs, long time subscriber. I've been watching him too, man. Salute to your channel, man. Salute to your dogs. That brother, I think that brother had a litter of puppies. He's just going through the grind of it right now. So salute to you, my brother. ODG Bulldogs. This summer, how long would you keep your dogs on the chain? It depends on how high. I'll read that question out loud. I'm gonna start trying to catch a couple of questions that I can answer on these joints before we start up. This was ODG Bulldogs this summer. How long would you keep your dogs OTC weight all summer? Her keeping them under pit weight before the keep has benefits, care strength. It's all based on your animals and the weather that you're dealing with. If you're dealing with extreme heats and stuff, I started taking weight off of my dogs. Well, probably I want to say about maybe close to a month ago. I just started kind of taking people down off the winter weight. You know, you got to have an eagle eye as far as your yard goes and your dogs go, as far as who holds weight really good, who loses weight really good. You know, all of these dogs have different metabolisms and stuff. But coming into the summertime, I take them down in weight, not underweight, but kind of pushing the line of underweight because I can always add weight. But the worst thing that I've encountered in these dogs is coming in the summer. Because actually, me and Brown was talking about this last year. And the weather was kind of funny and stuff, and we was kind of like talking about when was it supposed to actually get hot. And then out the blue, it was just 97 degrees for 10 days straight. No rain, no nothing. And I had a lot of dogs that was overweight. They still had that winter weight on them. And I caught hell getting that weight off coming into the summer. So, you know, you want to be cognizant of the dogs that you're dealing with on your yard. And like I said, I take them down right to weight, not under. But if you go a little bit under, you can always add weight. That's not a big issue with adding weight in dogs. Increase the fat, increase the feed. If you need to take the dog off a chain and put them in the kennel so it can't burn as much energy on the chain, put them in the kennel. You'll notice they'll put on a little bit weight. All things about gaining weight is you're eating more calories than you're burning, so you can get your body into a situation where it can add weight to it. So that's how people gain weight. For everybody who doesn't know and understand, you're eating more than you're burning. So your body starts storing shit, starts storing sugars, it starts storing stuff for later use. Dog's body is the same way. If they're not burning a certain amount of calories and you add more fat, more calories, more protein to the diet, you'll get their body into a stage where they're storing stuff and they can gain weight. So that's how you play with weight. But I like to take them down coming in the summer because when that heat come and them dogs got the extra weight on them, they you can almost see that they're suffering. It's hot. They got fur on them. When they do rile up or get hot, they get hot extremely fast. You really can't work them. It's a mess having dogs overweight coming in the summer. So that's my advice for ODG Bulldogs. Just have it in your mind who you're dealing with on the yard, because some people would want to take everybody down at the same time. And some of them dogs is already hard for them to keep weight. and then you cut them too bad, and when you cut them, they look like Skeletor, and they don't maintain that strength and that vigor they had. So playing with weight is something real serious, and you don't really want to be doing too much of highs or lows. Like that's when we talked about the wintertime stuff, as far as keeping them warm, and you don't have to add so much weight on them wintertime. If you can have a situation where they're warm, you don't have to go crazy with the feed. But that weight fluctuation is almost like Luther Vandross, people. You don't want to have them ballooning up and coming down and ballooning up and coming down. That's a lot of stress on the system. It's a lot of stress on a human being system, nonetheless an animal system. You can have all type of kidney failure and shit when you play like that with those dogs. So just keep that in mind when you playing with weights. Oh, who else we got in here? IDT Kennel Salute. How you doing, sister? I'm sorry I couldn't get to a lot of people. It was a hectic last couple of weeks, but it was much needed. Sometimes you just got to get away, relax your nerves, hit that reset button. I was in that zone. So, like I said, we've been about 3 weeks since we had a good cook up. Hey, Fred, you in there good yet?
Yeah, I think I am.
You sound crystal clear to me, brother.
All
I
right.
was just letting everybody know I was getting caught up with everybody, man. We know vacations, we had to take a break, but you know what we say, Fred, we got to leave the people wanting more. Got to leave them wanting more.
Well, salute
So
to the chat. Salute to the chat. We
let's
appreciate
go.
appreciate y'all coming back.
Hey, we appreciate it. Mostly do, man. Like I told y'all when we started this series, this is not going to be a weekly thing. Mr. Fred is a very busy man. I'm a very busy man. It's very hard. I tip my hat to the content creators out there. It's hard to keep these shows going on a consistent schedule when you just don't know how your day is going to unfold. So just want to say appreciate everybody for the late notice because I think I put it out, but I can't remember. I got to look at my thing, but I put out a late notice today for the show, and I appreciate everybody who took time to swing through. We got Kentucky Rabbit Hunter. What's going on? Salute. I don't think you've been in the chat before, but salute and appreciate you coming through.
Appreciate
Who
you,
else?
brother.
Michael Forgood. What's good? What's good?
All good.
Dirty Glove. All right. Think we got everybody in here so far. We see this ain't gonna be no super duper long cook up, y'all. We just giving out a little content. I had some emails and stuff. Me and Fred talked about some stuff. We was like, hey man, we probably need to pop up and do a show. But I want to open this show up with something real light. You know what I mean? I'll start off with you, Fred. What do you love about the American Pit Bull Terrier? We talk about a lot of stuff on here, but we never open up dialect on what we truly enjoy as individuals about these dogs and what makes us spend our hard-earned money taking care of these animals, taking our precious time maintaining these animals, our true enjoyment of the breed. Sometimes we need to share. Sometimes we need to reflect. Sometimes we need to go back to square one and figure out why we even doing this. These are things that need to be said. So, Fred, what do you enjoy about the American Pit Bull Terrier, sir?
I love to see how it can be manipulated to fit your own uh, uses. And a lot of times we don't appreciate that because you know I had a phone call come through. How can I stop that?
Oh, what you call it? If you get a call come through, I'll just let it ring because I don't know how your phone is. But what you can do sometimes if it pops up, just hit the turn down button or that text message thing that says I'll call you back.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what type of phone you on, but go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm on the
You was
iPhone.
talking about.
I'm on the
You see,
iPhone.
I don't have iPhone problems. I'm an Android guy.
Hey, I used to be an Android guy, but my kids and stuff say,
I don't know why you switching sides.
hey, they tell me the Android for the old folks.
Oh Lord,
they
oh
took
Lord, here you
they
go.
took my Android from me. Really? Hey,
They came off
I
as
was like,
confiscated your shit.
yeah, right, because I was like, man, how am I Android boy? You couldn't tell me that was the best phone in the world. So
Man,
I'm an Android man too. So I'm using this iPhone. That's what they got me on. But like
Oh man.
it's almost like the dogs, man. You get to appreciate their performance and how tough they really are. I mean, I done had a lot of different kind of breeds of dogs prior to having an American Pit Bull Terrier, but I never had a dog that got the intelligence, the power, the strength. I mean, there's so many pluses in these dogs, man. They versatile. They can do all sorts of jobs, man. They they not just one dimensional type dogs, man. That's what I love about
Mm. You opened up a lot of
them.
layers to that
You
cake
didn't
right
think
there,
I
Mr.
had nothing
Fred.
for you, huh?
No, you came out shooting. You came
I,
out shooting.
hey, I
I
got some
respect
stuff
that.
for you for that question. Hey, I go in my backyard and I can go down the line and I can tell you which one of these dogs on my yard is better doing certain jobs. You know what I'm saying? And I can tell you which one is going to produce different type of things on the yard. So that is consistency. You know what I'm saying? And when you got that type of consistency, I'll be like, it's just amazing to me. That they
Mm.
carry those traits for many, many, many years, unbroken, unbroken. You know what I'm saying? So hey, and then you keep coming seeing it in the offspring time and time again. I mean, different little traits. I love it.
Man, you opened up a mouthful there, boy. That was a mouthful there. But well, I will piggyback on what you got going on. Is I ask myself that question. I appreciate the resiliency of the breed. Something you brought up. I found myself like life and every day is a struggle. Everything is a grind in my life. When it comes down to work, family, everything is like constant. Everything has to get done. It's just you have to have a no quit type of mentality to live my life. And I enjoy having a dog around me that has that no quit attitude because you got to fight and claw for everything you get in this world. I mean, and I like an animal around me that represents the type of life that I'm living because I'm not where I want to be yet. I'm close, but I'm still fighting and scratching to get to where I want to be. You know what I mean? The book isn't finished yet. So I enjoy having a dog that can fit that type of criteria as far as my personality and their personality. Another part about the dogs that I would say that I love and enjoy is what you alluded to. Just the several different aspects these dogs fit and fill. Hunting dogs. At one time, it was combat dogs. I mean, they're known as nanny dogs. These dogs wore a lot of different hats throughout history. So they got a multifaceted about them. They can play a lot of different characters depending on what situation you put them in. And I could truly appreciate that about them dogs because that ability to change allows you to survive and for them to be able to tackle so many different tasks. That willingness to live, that willingness to survive, that's something big with me that I appreciate about these dogs in general myself. You know, that was kind of heavy when you hit on Fred.
Well, thank you,
Shit.
thank you.
What we talk about?
We
Go
we
ahead,
we,
Fred.
we both get to see some of the same traits because a lot of the traits that I seen early on my yard, I got to pass it on to you of certain different things that I seen before you got the dogs, and then you sit there and seen what I was seeing, and then a lot of times you would confirm it, and that would
Yeah.
be amazing to me when you throw it back to me and say, "Hey, man, you're right," and it made me to make better choices of what I kept and what I didn't keep, and to make a better yard over here for myself.
What? The sharing of information. I want to also add in 'cause me and you was talking one time, and as a breeder, we're gonna specify the question a little bit down too. As a breeder, was Fred alluding to his traits and stuff? I enjoy the generational wealth. I'm gonna use that word, generational wealth. I'm going in the archive, Fred. I enjoy having and owning generations of my own dogs that I bred. I enjoy being able to walk around my yard and have grandparents, great grandparents, offspring, and be able to correlate those traits that Mr. Fred is talking about, where you're in a position where you can look at the individual, where it came from and where is it going. To me, that's one of the most joyful parts about having a yard of dogs, especially the situation that I'm in and Fred's in. And when you have a line of dogs that you've been breeding for years, for over a decade, and you have family history, and you can see how things, it's difference between, just acquiring a dog for the first time and you not knowing anything about the dog and you're relying on your breeder to give you a lot of information about what you may possibly see in your dogs, and actually being there and doing the breedings and raising the dogs up to adulthood. That's a huge, huge, huge thing for me that I enjoy. Love having history on my yard as far as what I'm doing. Even though Hustle Man isn't here, there's plenty of video and footage of Hustle Man showing that he was an intense dog. But I love having representatives from him that will keep that hard, rough, never quit kind of attitude going forward for his blood and his line. You know what I mean? So I love generational wealth, as I'm going to call it in this live. Generations of good dogs. And I mean, that's a beautiful thing.
Yes, it
Bear
is.
with me one second, Fred. I'm adding Brown on into here. Brown's Kennels, what's going on, my brother? How you doing?
What's up, Brown?
Yo,
What's up, Brown?
what's going on, man? What's going on with
What's
y'all?
on?
Man, appreciate you making time on this Saturday, man. I know we moved the show, man. If I ain't say that, I appreciate Mr. Fred. Appreciate Brown Kennels for switching up the schedule a little bit and making this show happen on Saturday for these young brothers. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate everybody out here, supporting the breed itself, American Pit Bull Terrier, keeping it alive.
And we going through it. We going through it. The question we was cooking on, Brown. I don't know, Fred, if you finished your thoughts. If not, go ahead with your thoughts. But the question, Brown, was what do you enjoy about the breed?
No, I'm finished. Let Brown go ahead and cook up.
What I enjoy is, watching, well, first of all, choosing two dogs and putting them together. That's the first thing. I'm choosing these two dogs. I know what these two dogs are. I know how they, I want to see if they're going to produce what they are. You know what I mean? The intensity, the generation itself. Second, once you get that dog, that pup, I enjoy watching this pup transition. Seeing them traits come through, seeing both sides, or seeing one side lane to the other, this side lane to that side. I enjoy looking at that, man. I enjoy watching them get older and just taking pride in the dog itself. Everything ain't gonna be what you want it to be, but at the end of the day, it's like if you know what the parents are and where the dogs come from, you gotta up on it. You gotta rear up, especially when you deal with good people, that know their line of dog. You don't want to get talking a partner, buddy. You don't want to get a six-way dog and you don't know where nothing's coming from, man. I like to keep it simple.
That's true too.
For real.
Well,
Keep it simple.
well, shout out to Student for Life Dog Training. Shout out Big Scratch TV. A lot of y'all know, starting from Scratch Global, I think is what he was going, what his channel was named. I reached out to the brother via the internet one day because I saw one of his new videos pop up, and it was under a name. I think his channel got hacked. But for all of those starting from scratch, global fans, he's in the chat. Y'all go ahead and subscribe to him. He's under another channel, Big Scratch TV. I don't know if he's gonna get his original channel back up, but this is the channel that I seen him on. He says, great show, salute to the brother, salute to you.
Salute to you.
Oh, man.
You know, y'all chime in with him again, man. I mean, I thoroughly enjoy his channel. And like I said, for everybody who was looking for where Scratch is at, there he goes. There he goes. Student for Life dog training. Again, I think I caught him already. As far as some of the questions I'm getting in the chat, I am very, very cognizant of not to talk about certain lines that I haven't handled or haven't been breeding or raising. Some of the questions about, oh, is this stuff good off of this dog and that, I can't answer that for you. For some of those questions, you got to go out there, acquire those dogs. If you're interested enough in those dogs, you got to put the time in and see if you like it or not. None of us are really in a situation to be like, oh, this is shit and that's shit and this shit, because all it takes is one person to have one good version of the dog, and everything you're saying is now shit. So, you know, I pause when it comes to opinions on different strands of blood. There's some good out there, some bad out there. I know that's a general answer, but you know, there's gonna be good and bad in all of these lines. That shit is never gonna change. So if you're just looking for like someone to validate if a dog is shit or not shit, I'm not the person to come to for that information. Just sharing that out there publicly with everybody. So, you know, if you're interested enough in that blood, go out there and acquire some and see if you like it. But as far as trying to get one up on it, I speak on dogs that come from my camp that I raised, or dogs that I put my hands on that I know about. That's about as much as I could talk about. Anything else would just be pure speculation on my part. So I don't engage in all of that just for the questions in the chat about certain lines, if it's good or bad or not. But let's cook up on this next question. I guess we got the general topic going on, and we're going to talk about this one was via email. I thought this was funny, but I said let's cook up on this one. You're into the dogs now. You're a breeder. You're a handler, whatever you are. How do you deal with the haters, young and old? They were specific with this question. So now I say we got we classifying some of these haters now. It's not just hater. You got the young haters and you got the old haters. I guess I'll cook up on it first. I'll give y'all some time to think about what y'all want to say. But as far as me, because I've had my fair share of haters in this shit. But as far as dealing with haters, young and old, understand the level of danger each one brings. Young haters, to me, aren't that dangerous because they really don't have shit in the cut. They really ain't got nothing going on. A lot of young haters is just really all talk. It's just talk, and if you engage them in talk, that's what they want. They want a talking battle. They want to go back and forth verbally. That's what a lot of the young haters do. The old haters is the ones you got to watch out for. The old haters, they've went through decades hating. They've lived their whole life being haters. They're seasoned haters. Just because some of these gentlemen are older, don't think that they're not haters. And I really need you to understand that, because when they was young in the dog circle, they were a hater back then. And they're still a hater now to this very day. So be cognizant and aware of the old haters, because old haters play a different kind of game than young haters. Young haters let you know they haters right out the door. They coming out with aggression and negativity and stuff. That's what young haters do. Old haters, they have a tendency to try to befriend you first. I'm going to repeat this again for the class. For the old haters, they come out trying to befriend you first. They got a game to their hating. They try to befriend you, bring you in, know your ins and outs, and then become super haters. Because now you let them in your circle and they know what's going on, the ins and outs. Be cognizant of these old ass haters. Understand, when you're looking at an old ass hater, he was a young hater at one point, but he survived the hating college. He's graduated his hating seminar with all his badges and honors of being a hater. So
Hey, yo, that sounds real
understand.
personal.
Hey, hey, Brown.
Understand that
Hey,
shit.
Brown. Hey,
Yeah,
hey, Brown. You can laugh, but good God,
yeah,
boy,
that shit sounds
hey,
personal.
hey, you shoot them out. Good God,
Empathy.
that ain't right. That ain't right. That ain't right on so many levels, man.
He's a st- he's a, these is the
Hey,
these are the
for,
Bill
for
Gates
me,
of haters.
for me to be an old guy, I know what you. I know what you mean, man, because I done hung out with some of these cats, man. And some of them, I'm 57, and some of them older than me, bro. And I mean, look, them numbers can run up 70s and 75s and 69s and 68s, you
Damn.
Yeah,
know.
man.
Uh,
There's no time limit on being a hater.
but
Go ahead, Fred.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. When it comes to that hating stuff, you just always remember, no matter what size it come in, hey, it ain't gonna be nothing good to come out of it. You know, you got to
True.
know that, hey, stick to your plan. A lot of times, these guys, young and old, they got a plan already. When they encounter you and you become part of their plan, and you don't go with their plan or whatever, you gonna be a problem. And
Mm.
a lot of times, as they used to say in the world that I used to be in, we don't want to be going against nothing that we got going on over here. The thing is, a lot of times they say we don't want to be going against something that we got going on over here. A lot of the stuff that they call don't want to go into is stuff that they all already out in the world, bro. So, it ain't no way you gonna be able to handle everybody. So I look at it like this:
Mm.
I'm gonna breathe and do things the way I want to do them, and that's why you don't hear me saying, "Let me call my kennel partner." The only kennel partner I got now is somebody that's helping me pay for this dog food. That's my wife. And if
Right.
you ain't helping me pay for this dog food, you ain't my partner.
I know that's right.
Mm. This is big. This is big. This is big. Brown. How you
Hey,
dealing with the haters? How you dealing with these young and old haters?
yo, to be honest, man, when you like I put it like this, I stay in my lane. You know what I mean? I feel like you got to earn respect.
Mm.
So when when you mention haters, you know, I could literally say, you know, fuck a hater. You know what I mean? Shoot a blunt. You know what I mean? For real, yo, because when like Fred pointed out, if you're not doing nothing for my yard, if you ain't chipping in on his food, you know, it's you really I don't I re- we really don't got no conversation.
Talk
You
to me,
can hate
right?
all day.
Talk to me. You seen any of them out there with a shovel helping you clean that stuff up out there, bro?
Ain't nobody picking
Mm.
up
Hey,
nothing, bro.
hey, I got dudes, young and old, that say, "Hey, man, this our dogs," but they'll stand up there and smoke they blunt or whatever and cross their arms and stuff while I'm cleaning up. At the end of the day, that's my dog, man. I'm the one
That
giving
shit
this
don't.
dog water and all that. Hey, you ain't
Mm.
did nothing but stand there with your arm crossed. When it
Yeah,
come
but like
time to
What?
when it come time to feed up, that's our dog, man. That ain't your dog yet. I ain't seen nothing you put in no work yet, but you want to say something about ours. Nothing ain't ours.
That's
yeah,
that's the real
them
part of this
haters.
conversation for the young brothers. Y'all
Yeah,
young
haters.
brothers can't give a
Yo,
hater power because
you
haters
can't.
want to have. Look how a hater is created. A hater is created off of the moves that you make. Let's break down what a hater is. There's two types of individuals in this world that I've come. I'm not no old wise man, but I'm walking around here about 37 years. From what I've seen in my 37 years, I'll share with you young bulls. There's two type of individuals that walk the face of this earth. There's some people that will see something and see somebody doing something great that they want to do, and they're going to say, hey, I'm going to do what I got to do to achieve that level. They'll have a healthy respect for watching somebody do something that they enjoy, and then they're going to reassemble their life so they can achieve those things as well. That's the first individual. Second individual is going to witness somebody doing something great, and then they're going to become jealous and envious. Their mindset is not to try to achieve what you're achieving. Their mindset almost turns into a place of trying to destroy what you're doing. And that's why haters are dangerous, because they're on the path of trying to destroy whatever you're trying to do. So don't ever give a hater power. And there's two types of hate here. Because I'm going to read deep into this email question, because half of this could be social media hate, and some of this could be outside concrete hate when you dealing with real life situations. If it's a real life situation, we've sat on this show several times and said you can't change the people around you, but you can change the people around you, if you get what I'm saying. Stop affiliating with hating ass motherfuckers if this is something that's happening in your outside life, concrete, where I could touch you, hurt you, real life. Cut those people out your life. Get them away from you. Internet hate is exactly what it is. It's internet shit. It's somebody who's sitting up with their spare time watching what you're doing, and they're throwing their 2 cents in or making videos about you. But their whole thing is this is all in a fake world on the internet where anybody can be anybody. You be sitting there arguing with somebody on the internet that doesn't even have a fucking dog. That's what I learned about the internet. So internet hate is way easier to deal with than real life hate. Real life hate, you may have to physically impose your will on somebody else. Because I never had a problem telling somebody, get the fuck from around me. You know what I mean? It's never been something that's been in my DNA. It's been hard for me to do. If I don't like you, I don't associate with you. And I'm an honest person. I'll let you know to your face. Hey, I ain't really rocking with you like that, bro. Get up out of here. That's how I was brought up. I don't entertain. I don't have jackals in my backyard. I don't have snakes in my grass. I'm cutting everything. If I perceive for you to be a threat, what I got going on, I get you up out of there real fast. And that's my advice for you young bulls.
Boy,
if you know somebody ain't about what you about, get them the fuck from around you. Don't let them hang around. Don't do it. It's a bad thing. Go ahead, Fred.
Hey, that's fact, man. And you know, a lot of times people try to follow your next moves and stuff. What you breeding next? You know what I'm saying? Try to be all into your business. A lot of times when you know, it used to be on pairs online. They try to keep up with the next thing you're gonna breed. And you know, back in the day when I know me and Thompson used to do it, we used to build a pedigree to see what it looked like, where we can plan our next breedings and stuff. But you have so many people watching what you're doing, and they start seeing these pedigrees online and really think they were real dogs that was bred, and the dogs haven't never been bred before. You know, it just was a tool to use to be able to think about which ways you want it to go. And see, a lot of times you got people so envious and jealous of you that they want to stop what you're doing sometimes. They want to stop and be a part of what you got going on, and you won't let them in your little circle. So if they can't get into your little circle, they're going to put bad mouth on you all day, every day. They're going to do that. So, you know, a lot of times you got to be like a turtle and make your moves real slow and real precise, and make it hurt. I mean, when you come out with a breeding, when you come out with dogs that you're gonna come out with, I mean, let them be good dogs, man. Let the dogs stand for themselves in their own square. You don't have to sit there and breed dogs or make dogs that people feel like you got to take and make them for their use. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really over here making no dogs for somebody else's use. Like the first question you was asking us about, you know, you got to be able to make these dogs for something for your own enjoyment. I mean, if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to go out there and take care of it and be responsible for it and be able to sustain what you got.
That's golden knowledge for the young bulls out there. I hope y'all soak that up.
Yeah.
Brown, you got anything you want to add on?
Yo, you got different types of haters, man. You really, you got different types of haters. You know, you got this internet beef or whatever. You know, to me, it's a cartoon show, and that shit can turn real any given second. You know what I mean? Like over a hound. You know what I mean? Like, and I know that for a fact. I mean,
oh yeah, we seen it get ugly. We seen it get ugly.
Yeah. You got different types of, one thing about internet beef, one thing about a lot of these, people, characters, whatever you want to call them, yo, they move different. You don't know them. You don't know them. You know what I mean? You got some shit. It takes nothing for somebody to make a phone call. You know what I mean? Now you got people in your yard. You know what I mean? Now you got, you wondering where it come from. Neighbors.
I'm a piggyback on that.
Yeah, shit, they coming from off the internet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people they don't got nothing to do with their time except, sit and like I always say, man, it don't be the dog. It be the person behind the dog. You know what I mean? Is what they hating on. Don't hate me, hate the dog. You know what I mean? 'Cause that's what don't hate me, hate the dog, because I'm in it for the dog. I'm in it for like I said, I represent the breed. I got mad respect. I'm not in it to play with you. You know what I mean? You're wasting my time. That's why, like I mentioned earlier, I stay in my lane because I don't got time for all the extra stuff. You know what I mean? I'm trying to, stick with the breed. You know what I mean? Shit, nigga, I love the breed. You know what I mean? So why waste your time with somebody on the internet? Yeah, it's a lot of stuff go down.
I'm gonna piggyback on. I ain't want to cut you off, Brown, but I want to piggyback, expand on that. I want you to expand on this thing real quick. That internet beef shit, because this happened to me. It was a time where I was just fucking firecracker hot on the internet, and I don't know what was going on, but I was just accumulating smoke with every and anybody. It seemed like everybody had something to say about Thompson. Meanwhile, none of these motherfuckers had a dog from me. I ain't never do business with them. They don't know. Never met these people in life, but they had so much energy for me. And when all of this shit was going on, here come the animal control. Right on time, coming to my location. And I got really honest animal control officers, because I'm not a scary person. So when they pull up, I'm not fidgeting and like I'm doing something wrong. I'm real stout about what I'm doing. So I'm never nervous or none of that shit. I'm just going to handle business the way it needs to be handled. But they were very honest with me. Oh, this was an email sent to us. From an email? Yeah, I was like, so this wasn't a local neighbor or nothing? No, it's none of the neighbors. Somebody sent us an email and said that you need to be investigated for possibly dog fighting or whatever they were saying, dog fighting or unlicensed, some crazy shit they tried to come to me with. But it stemmed from the internet. And I said this several times before, and not in these lives, but in actual videos I did where I just have those cook-up videos where I'm just talking and shit. That shit is what's most likely going to happen from the internet beef. It's real to that point because people will hate you and hate what you got going on to the point where they'll pick the phone and put animal control on you. And I've been drilling that into y'all young brothers' heads for years and years and years and years and years. That is the card that they're gonna pull out their back pocket with you. Because a
Hey,
lot of them
yo,
not gonna have they don't have the heart to come see you and fuck you up in real life. You're not doing anything illegal with your dogs, so you're not gonna play that game with them. So the last card in their pocket is call the people on you.
hey,
And
yo,
for you young brothers, please don't engage these assholes on the internet.
yo, you
Don't
know,
go
same
back and
people.
forth with them talking illegal shit. Because I know that's the card that they play with y'all young brothers. Oh, you breeding curs. Your dogs look like curs. Blah, blah, blah. They say whatever they want to say to trigger your ass to get up on the internet and then start saying a bunch of illegal shit. And then when they make that phone call on your ass, now you've put information out that validates the phone call that they made on you. It's a game.
Hey,
And a lot of y'all
I
young
love,
brothers fall into it.
yo, me personally, I love to put a dog in a hater hand. You know what I mean? Let them feel that fire. You know what I mean? Let them feel that fire. You know what I mean? Like for real. Like it's not that it shouldn't be that serious. If you want, I mean, man, here, man. You know what I mean? I know what type of shit you. We done seen people. I done seen people on the internet call them people on people right on FaceTime and shit. I'm like, yo, y'all, wow. You know what I mean? Like, yo, this a big world. You know what I mean? Anybody, you got a lot of people like, yo. One thing about this dog thing, it done became so fucking popular and overpopulated till it's at the top of the surface. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
everybody got, yeah, I mean, everybody knows everybody, whether it's on, internet, YouTube, like word of mouth. Everybody know everybody. So it's not that close for somebody in your neighborhood or wherever you at that's not on your side. But
all right. They
that's how
jam you,
close they are to you. You know what I mean?
man. For this cook up here, for these haters, for y'all young brothers, for whoever their young brother is, I gotta start
That
writing down the
juice,
names on some of
man.
these emails. For whoever wrote me that email, I apologize for not writing it down. Be careful. You know, fuck a hater, but be mindful of the damage that they can cause, especially if, like we said, if this isn't some internet shit and it's some concrete shit. Be very cognizant. That's why we've done these lives to educate you young brothers about inviting people to your house, inviting people to come see your dogs. I got a lot of dog brothers that I deal with that don't have social media accounts. They just not for it. They just not for it. So and me and Fred been trying to get some of the OGs and they just not for it. And they fuck with us, but they just don't do social media. And this is
And,
why.
and
This is why.
I want to add to what you and Brown was saying. Uh, you know, I deal with guys that got something to lose.
Mm.
Brown
Right.
got something to lose. Thompson got something to lose. Thompson and Brown know that I got something to lose. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit here on this podcast and say something stupid that is going to affect me and my family. Only reason that I'm on here with Thompson and Brown because I like both of the brothers. We both, all us, got these dogs, and they in the same family group of dogs. We've been having good success with them, and we've been putting them out to the world for over 10, 12 years. And I like it, and we just
I
trying to
second
pass
that.
it. We trying to pass it on to somebody else. But you
Amen.
also got these guys out here, which we call haters, that don't have nothing to lose. So they're gonna act just like that. They gonna act like they don't have nothing to lose. So, if you
Mm.
affiliate yourself with these jokers that don't have nothing to lose, guess what? They're gonna affect your program the same way.
All right.
Right.
Wise man. I hope you young bulls took that in for what it was. Don't have to be fearful. Just be mindful of haters. Be mindful of your situation. Be mindful that they have nothing to lose. Be mindful of all of these things. The American Pit Bull Terrier is one of the most dangerous breeds to own and breed. It's a lot of shit that come with these dogs. A lot of other breeds of dogs, you can't get locked the fuck up for talking about certain things. You in this breed of dog here, you can get locked the fuck up, raided, have people tapping your phone lines, people trying to find out where you live, try to kill your dog, poison your dogs, call the people to take your dogs. There's a lot of shit in this breed of dog. You got to be almost a certain type of individual to survive in this. So it's
Right.
like
Not
I
only
always say,
that,
I
but
hate
give
to
yourself,
compare it to the street, but this is very
yo,
close to the damn street.
hey, yo, give yourself enough respect to actually realize. I mean, like literally wake up and realize, yo, you cleaning up. You know what I mean? Shit every day after a fucking dog. To actually say I'm gonna deal with this motherfucker on YouTube or the internet. You know what I mean? You paid this much for a damn puppy, but you're feeding into this internet stuff, man. Like realize, like I told y'all before, it's different, man. It's a responsibility. Like I said before, some motherfuckers don't take care of their kids, but they'll take care of a dog better
It's
than
real.
they damn take care of their kid, man. You know what I mean? And see, that's one thing that I connect because you know we all learn different, but sometimes like they say, I find like find a friend in a dog. This dog just taught you responsibilities. Learn from that dog. That dog got you doing stuff. That dog got you taking care. Yo, if you could take care of a dog, shit, nigga, let me take care of my seed. Let me do a little extra for this and that. You don't, you know what I mean? Like, come on. It's a
It's
responsibility.
real.
It ain't about, I hate when you get to a certain age for me, and it always been like that because it's real. All that hating stuff, I'm simple. I don't respect that. You know what I mean? I don't respect
Yeah.
that, yo. It's different. You're a grown
Or
man,
brown
yo. We
cookie.
could, yeah, because if it's about a dog, man, we grown man. You know what I mean? Let's put them on a meal and see
True.
who run the fastest. Let's see, what type of quantity you bring into the table. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Let's see how many shows you don't win for as ribbons and everything. It don't always got to be about the negative side of things because that negative shit
Yeah,
I
man.
have. That's what I mean. People just don't realize like it's haters come from all over. You know what I mean? This is a two-sided
Real.
wall right here. You got haters
Mm.
on this side, you got haters on that side.
I hope y'all listening. I hope y'all listening. I want to expand on this conversation too. This wasn't on the criteria, but this was something that I thought should be said for us, the young brothers, because what I've been getting is massive emails with pedigrees and people asking me, what do I think of this? And what do I think of that? And it's coming from a place where it almost, and I know it's the young bulls. That's why I'm going to tell y'all this. And I hope y'all take heed to what I'm saying. Stop looking for validation from other people on your dogs. Y'all send me pedigrees, and some of you guys will send me pedigrees and pictures and stuff. And it's almost like you're seeking validation for what you're doing. The reason I accumulated so much hate is because I came to the conclusion long time ago. I'm doing what the hell I want to do, and I could care less about what anybody feels or thinks. Because unless you got something in on what I'm doing, and you don't, you ain't got no money in on this, you ain't putting in no work on this yard, your opinion is irrelevant to what I'm got going on. And that's some of the attitude that a lot of you young brothers are going to have to start putting into your program. Stop seeking validation from other people, because what y'all are intentionally doing is you are going to find yourself in a situation where you're seeking validation from a hater. That's where you're going to put yourself in a position to. You got to be pleased with your animals. That half the battle in these dogs is people just trying to find the family tree of dogs that they enjoy, that they like. That is the hardest part of being in these dogs. Once you find your little family tree of dogs or a little group of dogs that bring the shit to the table that you enjoy, a lot of your headache and strife is gone. And now it's just trying to maintain what you found and try to maintain and enhance it as far as little tweaks of what you like and what you don't like. But just to get into dogs and be sending pedigrees and looking for a pat on the back and validation from this person or that person, or even if it's me, you know, if I thought your dog wasn't shit, you sent me a pedigree and I was like, oh, I saw these dogs, I don't like these dogs. Even if I thought your dogs were shit, you still gotta feed them. My opinion on what you have should not make or break y'all decisions on what y'all doing. There's one steering wheel in the car. There's one driver. You got to be the driver of your vehicle. Stop looking for somebody to grab the wheel for you. You got to find the dogs you like. Fuck what your pedigree say. Long as them dogs is what you like. But stop trying to be in a situation where you're getting dogs and then you're just looking for groups of people to say, yeah, that's a good dog. Because them saying that don't mean you got a good fucking dog. Just like it doesn't mean you have a bad dog if they say it's bad. It's really irrelevant when you think about the whole situation. But a lot of y'all young brothers are getting into that shit looking for a pat on the back. And some of y'all are looking on a pat on the back from a hater. And it's not going to be a pat on the back. It's going to be a knife through your fucking spinal cord. That's what they're going to give you. Right. So just free advice for out there for the young brothers looking for validation for what they have. Any of y'all want to drop in on that before we go into the next thing?
I'll drop in on it. I'll drop in on that. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Cook up, brother.
Oh, when you were saying a few minutes ago, it made me think, you know, when people call it validation on what somebody else thinking, a lot of times, you know, people send you pedigrees, and a lot of times they see the mother and the father, and they was great dogs. You know what I mean? And that's good that you know that, hey, they had some things that they accomplished or whatever they accomplished. But, you know, when you get their offspring, so you get puppies or whatever, you know, you start that whole cycle over again. So you can't really stand on the square that because the mom and daddy was good or great or halfway decent, that puppy going to be halfway decent. You got to raise that puppy, feed that puppy, and take care of that puppy. And it's going to be a mixed bag. You never know. You never know. You just like anybody else. You know better than me. You know, you got some people that think, well, hey, I've been in these dogs for so many years and I know what I'm doing. Look, that guy that says that is no better than I am. You can be Chico Lopez, you know what I'm saying? If I'm breeding dogs and he's breeding dogs, he getting the same thing that I'm getting. He getting a puppy and he got to raise it and he got to feed it. And he don't know if it's going to be good or bad. No more than I know it's going to be good or bad. It could be Thompson's Kennel. He can get a puppy and I can get a puppy. He don't know what that dog going to be no more than I do. So you got to raise that dog. You got to raise that dog. You got to put time in. You got to put your time in.
Right.
And a lot of times people don't stick to the program long enough to find out about their dogs and their family tree of dogs. They be in 1 or 2 years, or maybe 3 at the most. Then they ready to get out of the dogs. You know, that ain't trying to find out what's good and what's bad in these dogs. You can't find it out that fast.
Nah. You can't tell somebody, you can't tell somebody, you spent 2 years on something and you just now scratching the surface. That's what y'all young bulls got to get through y'all head. This shit ain't 1, 2 years, man. This shit, you are dedicating a chunk of your life to your dogs. And that don't matter if you got a yard of dogs or if you're a person there with 2 dogs or 3 dogs. You got to dedicate a lot of years a lot of years to see what you're really wanting to see. And I know what y'all are really wanting to see consistently. And what y'all trying to see is nothing that's going to happen quickly. And that is the worst thing you could do coming into this. Because I used to be stupid fast. Going through this, going through that, going to get this, going to get that, then get this, then get that. Bro, by the time you done did all the moves, spent all that money, and you done sat there and pissed away, and you put more energy into chasing it than you actually did cultivating it when you had it. Let me put it like that.
Elaborate on that, son. Hey, when you do all of that, you get a scatterbrain. You know what I mean? I mean, yo, because a lot of, you know, like to all the young guys, you know, for one, you hear the name, first of all. You know what I mean? American Pit Bull Terrier, most people say. And then, you know, whoa, game bred dog, you know, okay. That's the first steps. You know what I mean? When you get to that first step, do your homework. You know what I mean? Get with the blood. You know, don't stray away from it. If you get a pup, raise that pup. Don't forget
to full maturity. To full
this is a project.
Maturity.
Yeah, you know, to elaborate on what Fred says. You know, you gotta. A lot of guys don't put that much time in. You know, 3 years. Okay, you just raise a dog for 3 years, but you know, this is 3 years of you raising a dog. Not only that, a lot of you know, a lot of people don't got the patience and that eye to actually recognize the flaws in the, you know, because they go to the outside sources looking for information on what they got.
Talk to me, Brown. Talk to me. Talk to me.
Now you stuck and confused. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the
conversation comes full circle. Now that conversation comes full circle. You didn't pay attention to what you have. Now you're looking for an outside source to give you a one-up on what you have because you're not really doing the work that you're supposed to be doing with that dog. So now you're looking for other people, a la last cook-up. You see how we sewed this thing together real nice for you guys. Real nice for you guys. So you can just take it all in at once.
Let me tell you how deep it is, man. Like when it comes to these dogs, man. Like I said, it's a project. You know what I mean? And the best thing with a project to do, especially when you coming in here with these hounds, start off with one. Bond with it. You know, I always tell people I learn from my dogs. You know what I mean? Like, it's real. Bond with it. If you bond with a dog, you become shit. You become, you know what this, some dogs don't like if you clap your hands. You know what I mean? Some dogs might not like if you know, stand over them. Certain movements you move, because that you done got this dog, you done bond with this dog, yo. You know what I mean? That dog know when it's doing something bad, and if it's doing something bad, or if it's doing something good, but this dog is watching you react as, yo, the good shit is bad, man. It's deep. It's real deep. Start off with one, bond with your dog, you know, do your homework. You know what I mean? Like, take care of your dogs. That's the number one thing, man. Take care of your dog. You know what I mean?
Man. We saying stuff on this live, and I want y'all to, when he talking about that bond, it's easy just to say bond with your dog. If no Brown saying it like that, but that bond is, man, that's them pets, them rub downs, that talking to, learning how your dog is and how it responds. I'm gonna elaborate on what you're saying because some of the people just say bond. Oh, I go out there and feed them and clean up. That ain't bonding.
Nah.
That bond is learning that personality. Because even though we say family trees and bloodlines, and these dogs do possess consistent traits amongst each other, they all still have different personalities. They
You might
all
have a
have a different personality.
yeah, you might have a skittish dog. You know what I mean? Like you don't know where you just getting a dog and you looking at a goddamn fourth generation that you don't know nothing about. You know what I mean? Not
Exactly.
only that, you done did a little homework. You know, shit. 9 times out of 10, of course, the person that's selling that dog is gonna tell you whatever they fucking need to sell a dog. You know what I mean? You got the dog, okay,
Uh,
now you on a whole different mission. You know what I mean? You got time and you got money invested. Take your time, man. You know what I mean? Because even if that person sold you that dog, and it's a good chance if they sold you that dog, man, that dog got an eye on it, whether it's a good eye or a bad eye. You know what I mean? It's a reason why they sold you that one. You know what I mean?
mm,
Whether you looking at a litter and you picking that one. You know what I mean? It's the hope you got for it might not be the hope you expect. You know what I mean? Like
hmm.
plenty of times, like they tell you, man, yo, you gonna scratch out. You gonna mess up. You got dog man that starts their whole yard over. It goes that deep down the rabbit hole when it comes to these what you want, far as like I respect to all of them, man. Like, yo, it's what you want, what you start off with. You know, for one, do your homework. Look at the past, man. That's when you should ask somebody a question like, well, what you think about this pad, and see around. You know what I mean? Before you even purchase a hound, look at the pads. Look at the dogs itself. You know what I mean? Just to mind you, everybody want to sell you a dog, nigga. You a customer. You feel me? It's deep like that,
Hey, bro.
man. But for real, man, it's deep like that. But at the end of the day, you know, real recognize real. Real recognize real,
That's the
man.
truth.
You know what I mean?
That's
Find
the truth.
where your comfort zone at. You know what I mean? Like we was talking about earlier. You know, people go to other people and look for that check. That green light. Oh, so and so said it's good, so I'm gonna grab it. Man, come on, bro. And you go spend
That's
your money.
hey, bro. When guys do that, it amazes me. I mean, I deal with guys that they really put these guys up on pedestals. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of
Right.
times, if they don't get the okay from their guy, if they guy don't like it, it ain't nothing that you can say to make them like it. They ain't gonna like it till they guy like it. And a lot of
Hmm.
times, the stuff that they looking for in the pedigree be right there in the face, and they face it on the pedigree. And then when they guys start liking it, they'll come to you and say, "Well, we like this kind of blood." And I said, "Don't you see that right there? That's the brother to that dog." But you know why they don't know? They don't never hit that thing they call siblings. I mean,
No.
if you have a dog,
We,
right?
we said we sat up here and said don't be a lazy. We sat up here and said don't be a lazy pedigree
Hey,
reader.
if if Thompson have Hustle Man, and I've been breeding Hustle Man system for 20 years, and somebody say, yeah, I like that Hustle Man blood, but I don't like your blood. I'll be like, wow, how you do that? How you do that? I can't understand that. Oh, I didn't know that was Hustle Man's sister. What you mean you didn't know
Ugh.
that was Hustle Man's sister? Ain't you reading the pedigree? Come on now. Come on now. I
Y'all
mean,
talk, y'all
looking
talking.
at
I tell you, I told him, Fred, I ain't been the pedigree guy on the team. I'll be the first one to tell y'all, I'm not the pedigree guy on the team. Fred is the pedigree guy on the team.
yeah, but
Fred
man,
made me
it's
step my
ridiculous,
pedigree
man.
game up. Fred made me step my pedigree game up.
It's
Pedigrees don't mean anything. This is the thing about pedigrees, and I'll say it once and I'll say it again for everybody, because you got some people I don't care about the pedigrees, some people care about the pedigrees, and on the conversation goes until the world ends. But
Right.
the thing about the pedigrees is the pedigrees matter to the person who it validates their work. Now, you could look at a pedigree if I sold you a dog and you may not know nothing on that pedigree. That pedigree to you is somewhat useless at the time. To me, I know every fucking dog on that pedigree. I put hands on every dog on that pedigree. So that pedigree is different to you than it is me because I actually know what's in it. Physically know what's in it. Not just, oh, I read it. I know the dog. I own the dog. I fed the dog. I know those dogs in the pedigree. That's when it's important when you know, and that's where the power comes in with pedigrees, is when you know the animal in it. That's a different conversation for a different day. But
Yeah, because
know
I was about to
that's a
jump all
distinct
over that back.
difference.
I was about to jump on that, yo, because when it comes to a pedigree, you know, like I hear people be like pretty pedigree. But god damn it, let that hound be what that pedigree is.
Mm.
That's pretty.
Isn't
You know what I mean?
isn't that what we all want? At the
Yeah, I
end of the
mean
day,
that.
people, isn't that what we all want? We want
Yeah,
the dogs to reflect the pedigree.
right. That's to me. That's when it comes down to quality. Okay, well, damn, that pedigree is this. Oh, that shit look pretty. That's quality. Expect to pay for that. But that's on a whole different topic. You know what I mean? Like that's a
ooh
whole different
wee.
topic, man. For real, bro. I mean,
Shout out to
cuz man,
Gas and
I'm
Go
not.
Kennels in
Ooh,
the chat. Shout
hey,
out to Gas
Thompson,
and Go Kennels
Thompson,
on the kit.
Thompson. I believe that's the other cook up that you wanted to get started on.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, pay pay for
you
that,
got to pay
man.
for certain things. When you want expertise in something, you got to pay for that, man. You got to pay for that, man. I'm
Right,
just gonna leave that one at that. We may pick up on that on the next one. Salute to White
right.
Chocolate. Salute to Gas and Go Kennels. Who
Gas and
else swung
go.
through in the
Salute,
chat?
salute.
Yeah,
Salute to
man.
the
Shout out to
chat,
Gas and
man.
Go.
I
Check him out on
appreciate
YouTube, man. Bro, the brother won that online. They did a dog show online, man. I think he won recently, man. Shout out, salute to you, brother. Putting the work in with the
it.
hounds. Putting the work in with the hounds. The next cookup was for This was like a breeding cookup, or not even a breeding cookup, really a business cookup. The reality of your dogs not selling, the peaks and valleys of doing business. This is big. This is big. Let's just set the table for this cook up here. You was on fire. Your dogs were selling left and right. You was the hot man on the block. Couldn't keep them in the kennel. Everybody beating your door down, wanting dogs. It was not a problem. Now the creeks have dried up. The crackheads is lurking. There's no work on the streets. Now nobody's beating your door down for the work. You're no longer popular. Let's just say, for example, the family tree of dogs you're running has become unpopular now. How do you deal with that? How do you approach that situation? Do you scrap your yard? Oh, these dogs ain't popular no more. Nobody's trying to grab them from me no more. Do you scrap your yard? Do you stay 10 toes down with your line?
Hey
Do
yo,
you just blow everything up? I'm opening the forum to y'all. What do you do when these dogs not selling? What happens now? I'll let y'all cook up first.
You gonna let me cook up first?
We
Let me
touched on this one.
let me cook,
I
cook
even
up
put the
first.
peaks and valleys in there for you. I even put the peaks and valleys.
The peaks and the valleys. You know, hey, hey, can I use my old family red, Rufus Chinaman, for example?
I know you are. Go ahead.
Well, I'll put it like this. you're gonna always have your peaks and your valleys. You're gonna have your hot times and your good times and your bad times. But you got to always be sure that you're doing something that you like. Because when you're doing something you like, when them valleys come, you won't feel as bad. You won't feel as bad because you still have something that you always wanted. And when I started out with my dogs, I had the Rufus Chinaman dogs. And I always had wanted some of this old family red one of my partners had. So the dog was getting up in age around 12 and a half, almost 13 years old. And I said, man, if I can get me some of
Chill out.
this, I'll be as happy as a pig in slop, right? So my man let me breed to his old family red. He said, well, the dog had never been registered. He was UKC registered. So we had to get him registered with UKC. We had to take and get a 9 generation pedigree because they ain't like ADBA. And then I got him to come over to ADBA. They had to get his DNA to make sure he was the actual dog from UKC. They had to also get us a pedigree analysis, which tells you exactly what kind of blood is in these dogs. You know what I mean?
Right, right,
So
right,
I
right,
get to learn that off
right,
gate. I get to learn that. And so, like when I brings him over to the ADBA, they confirmed that the puppies that I have from my Rufus Chinaman dog were actually the puppies that came off of this dog. And now I'm off to the races. Now, I had this stuff way before I had the termite dogs. I had this stuff before they got Ciroc and what you call it, Hong Kong and those dogs.
right.
I had the old family red Rufus Chinaman before Toby came on the scene. Before all these Boils dogs came on the scene, I had these dogs already. So at the end of the day, that stuff wasn't popular. So what I did, I got the popular dogs. I got the Boils dogs. And I've been running those for a while. But one thing about it, I always had that Rufus Chinaman stuff that I always wanted. Now that's what I always wanted, and I got it. Once I got it, you know, the surprise effect was over with. You know, now if you have something that you want, it don't matter how long you have it. It don't. It really don't matter how long you have it. But if you got it and you can sustain it and you keep reproducing it, it makes you so happy to see those dogs reproduce themselves generation after generation after generations after generation. And I've been able to achieve that. So I'm not on that level no more of getting excited about people coming to buy a dog from me and now they're not buying dogs from me no more. I'm excited about seeing the productivity of a good dog being bred and raised and taken care of in my backyard. Now,
Mm.
if I take that dog, that Rufus Chinaman, old family red cross that I did and breed it to my Boyles dogs, now I'm seeing a whole different type of animal.
Yes, sir.
But if I didn't never hold on to my old family red Rufus Chinaman dogs, I would never see this, what I'm seeing today. So the question that was asked, you got the peaks and the valleys, right? You got to be able to get into the line that you want, regardless of peaks and valleys. Because a lot of times, if you on a peak, you're going to go to a valley. I don't care what bloodline you get into. Because it's going to be people that say, hey, I don't like those dogs. Those dogs are, like you said, cur dogs or whatever dogs. They're going to have something negative to say. But every dog ain't about being a cur and being about uh, a good box dog, because every dog ain't a box dog. And every dog ain't a dog that's going to be a game dog. Every dog ain't no game dog. You got to look at each litter that you make to see which one is game and which one is not. Every dog ain't a show dog. Some dogs only have underbites. Some dogs only have a messed up back end. Some of them gonna be just not good looking dogs at all. So you can't make those decisions until you do those breedings that you're gonna do, and then you'll see what you're making is good or bad. And I believe the peaks and the valleys that we're talking about this evening, it becomes part of who you are. If you're a person that'll run when times get hard and tough, you're gonna run regardless. See, I ain't that guy that'll run when things get tough.
Fred preaching. Fred
I ain't that
preaching.
guy
Get
that
it
when it get tough, I ain't running. I'm gonna be right there. And
in.
that's been proven fact. You know, I done hung out with guys I should have been gone locked up with them, but I didn't get locked up, and I didn't snitch on nobody neither. But at the same time, it's the way you live, the way you stay out of the way, the way you keep your mouth shut, the way you do things. God's grace sometimes, that might be the greatest thing, God's grace with it. And you know, it's going to also show you what's good and bad with these dogs. And so, like, I figure like this, the breedings I made at the beginning was stuff that I wanted, and I wanted to possess it. And I had an opportunity to get it in my hands, and I treasure that. And hey, I'm going to treasure that till I die. You know, that man gave me an opportunity to get some of his blood, which he never let anybody else breed to this dog. And he let me breed to the dog. And I'm carrying on that. Man. And I'm carrying on his line of dogs. I'm carrying on his line of dogs. Now, even though it wasn't an old family red dog, it was a dog. You understand what I'm saying? It was one of the dogs that I had, one of the best I could pull out off of my yard at that time. And her name was Pito Bean. She was just a regular Rufus Chinaman dog. That's all she was. It wasn't nothing special about her. She could hold her own, you know what I mean? But I bred that dog to a great dog that was already great. And and still to this day, I can see Red Dog in it, and I can see Pito Bean in both of them. And I've been breeding into all kinds of stuff, and it still come out. So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say peaks and valleys with that.
Fred opened up a whole can of worms. This is why we tell you, brothers, man. You know, if you're trying to get into these dogs, we had several conversations about the money aspect in these dogs. And we always preach to you guys, make sure you enjoy what you're feeding. Because when Fred alluded to the peaks and the valleys, you got to be comfortable being in the valley. I was comfortable for a point being in the valley. Because when you're not popular and no one is interested in your dogs or nobody is talking good about your dogs and all that, that's the best position to be in, because then it's just you and your dogs. There's nothing else left to focus on. It's just you and your dogs. And that time you put in with your dogs and learning them dogs, all the things we brought up in this cook up tonight for you brothers. Learning your dogs, that's the pivotal time. And then when things become popular, you never get too high when you become popular, because you remember what the valley was. The valley was right around the corner. It ain't too far from where you just been at. Now you're just popular. You're used to being in the valley. So you maintain a certain level of consistency, knowing that just because I'm popular or some of this little family tree of dogs that I got have become popular, I'm not going to do a whole bunch of X, Y, Z foolishness, try to add this and grab this. No. I'm going to stay on, as Brown alluded to, stay in your damn lane. Continue to stay in your lane. The valleys is that's the proving grounds that we talk about. The sandbox, them valleys. That's a great place to be in these dogs, because when it turns into something where it's real popular, and we've seen it because a lot of these famous dogs throughout history that y'all chasing to this very day that been dead for 30 fucking years, y'all still chasing them. And why? Because they became financially popular. And y'all say, Thompson, what are you talking about? These dogs became popular and then they were mass produced and distributed to the public. So everybody has it. It's out there. That's the big things that happen in these dogs and stuff. When dogs get pushed to the public, and we can talk about a bunch of great Mayday, Chinaman. How many offspring it was off of Chinaman? Fred, I think it was 1,500, something crazy like that.
Man, it's
And
crazy.
that's just what you're kind of that's what you just could kind of record on Pens Online if you're just looking. But you know, that's still an ass of dogs off of one dog. So
Not only
try
that,
to come
just
from a
think
humble
about
place.
not only that, just think about how if you got a dog producing that much, right? Just think about how watered down that line has become, especially with people that don't respect the line, don't know nothing about the line, or just to have a dog.
What?
That's how things are
Rabbit hole
watered
gets
down.
deep. But money,
You know what I
that's what
mean?
money brings. That's what money brings to this table. I tell you guys all the time. Don't. I know it sounds great to and aspire to, but what you actually, a lot of y'all ain't really ready for what you asking for. A lot of people always ask me, "Oh, I want to do what you doing in the dogs, man. I look up to what you're doing," and I tell people, I still work, still have a job. I still do. I'm a normal person. The dogs are just something I have in my life that I enjoy. But these
Hey,
dogs don't
Thompson.
sustain my lifestyle.
Thompson.
Yes, yes, sir.
You got to tell them it don't come up roses all the time, because a lot of
It
times,
don't.
you know, you didn't hit that brick wall before, and you know, I done got that call from you before. Said, man, I'm finna get out. I said, man, what you talking about, man? You better go somewhere
It's
and sit down
real.
for a little while and get yourself back together. And, you know, in about 2-3 days, you come back stronger than you ever been. You know?
Yeah, that's how I gotta be in these dogs because
Hey,
it's
hey,
rough.
because
It's
sometimes, hey,
rough.
sometimes you say, man, look, I'm ready to throw this towel in. Shoot,
But I
but
look at it from
look,
this
man.
level. If I was finance, this is the thing that the young brothers that I try to relate to them too, because that's why I talk into the financial part of it. This is I go through this type of stress with my dogs, and my dogs don't pay my bills. So imagine the additional stress if you're relying on these animals to try to support you.
Hey, yo, Thompson.
Now you going into a dangerous fucking area code. You know what I mean? That's why I say for a lot of because people look at us and like, oh, they're just no, I'm not no major breeder. I still consider myself a hobby breeder. I don't
Hey,
have
yo,
puppies consistently for sale. I just don't have the time. But you know,
yo,
for
you
you
gotta
brothers
say
who
that
are trying
again.
to go down that path, it's
Yo, you
scary
gotta
for
say
y'all
that
because
again.
I can't tell you how that is because I ain't living it.
You gotta say that
You know,
again. These dogs don't pay your bills.
they
You know
don't.
what I mean? Think
And
about that. These dogs don't pay your bills. We all
say it
got to
again, bro.
think about that. These dogs don't pay our bills. So let's go back to respect. You know, if somebody puts something out there on a dog, as far as the numbers, then just respect that.
Yeah,
These
that
dogs
that
ain't paying our bills. Cleaning up poop ain't paying our bills. Me listening to a hater ain't paying our bills.
boy.
It's a rabbit
I hope
hole.
y'all take. I hope y'all taking this. Hope y'all taking this gospel for you young brothers. I'm telling you now. My free advice: keep it as a hobby. But I've done sat here and talked to several dog men. I'm on the panel with two of them. I know several. There's nobody I know rich off of dogs. And the people who did get rich throughout history off of the dogs was the extreme situations that we're discussing now, where these dogs had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of offspring, where they made a sole purpose to mass producing dogs off of that dog. Those are the people throughout history who've been super rich, or people who came into dogs and they already had money. Because a lot of people don't seem to understand that part either, the young brothers. I know it's beyond the spectrum of some of y'all thinking. You see a guy on social media with some dogs, you think he got rich off of dogs, but lo and behold, his mom and dad left him a $2 million trust fund and he's just up here spending his money in front of y'all, and it's an illusion like he got rich off of dogs. That's past some of y'all thinking, but that's a lot of that going on too. People who come into this shit and already had an ass of money. So y'all,
Yeah, I
please,
mean,
it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to live off of dogs. I know commercial breeders who don't breed pit bulls. They breed several different breeds of dogs, and that's how they sustain themselves. They're not just breeding pit bulls and making money. They're just not. It's very few people, like I said, very few people throughout history that was being able to pull that off. I mean, you see some of these old timers out here now. They had a bunch of great dogs, but they don't have shit to show for nothing right now. A handful of them are making books and doing things to try to sell their experience of their life to get their income back, but the dogs didn't put them in a financial position for them just to be blessed and be chilling. Just being honest with
hey,
y'all. For y'all under
yo,
that
that's why,
illusion that these dogs are going to get rich. You're not. You're
that's
not.
why I take my hat off. I take my hat off to Fred, yo, Pitbull City. You know what I mean? Because for one, you know, if you jump into it, at least stay in it long enough to recognize, you know what I mean? Because there's levels to this thing. I don't respect everybody. Respect is, you gotta earn that. But
Mm.
when you run across a person that, you know what he's breeding, like he was talking about the ruthless Chinaman stuff, you can it's so much blood out there, it's so much gonna come to you to have you stray away from the truth. I've been dealing with dogs. I was dealing with dogs. Thompson know me. I've been had dogs. You
Back in
know,
the day.
but yeah, but when you jump on that, when you jump on that roll, it's like get with somebody who know their line. You know what I mean? And best believe that person that you get with, like we talked about earlier, they're gonna have haters. If they don't really got haters, it's just something different. I don't do all the hating stuff because I'm not. I got too much invested. I got a family. I just been through a lot. I never actually been into that hating field.
You got
You
too
got to
much to lose, bro. You got too much
in
to
other
lose.
words, right? I got too much to lose.
And
You know,
I'm gonna tell you, I appreciate you saying that, man, because there's some power in that, bro. Because I'm gonna say it like this. You know, it was a lot of people. You can call them haters or people that ain't got nothing. They ain't got no dog in the fight. They just want to take what I'm doing and try to piss on it. But the thing was, when I got that old family red stuff and I was happy with it, I was a happy man. It wasn't for nobody else but for me. You understand? And till this day, right now today, that man still come by my house, still come by and holler at me, still encourages me. You feel me? And that's been over 15 to 17 years. And I'm gonna tell you, since I got that old family red stuff from my partner, you know, I'm gonna tell you this. How many times you can call them haters or whatever? I call them people that just don't know no better. They just don't know no better. They'll say, well, hey, that ain't nothing but some uh what they call it, show dogs. Or that ain't nothing but some game dogs. If they ain't nothing but game dogs, what you think a game dog is? That's American Pit Bull Terrier, man. Is you gone crazy? I mean, a lot of times they just don't have an understanding what a dog is. If a dog is a show dog, what does that mean? That means that dog is conformational right. That means that dog got the right teeth, got the right body, got the right I mean, it just winning all the shows. Number one,
Yeah.
I want a dog to bring good health, good mind. See, these dogs are smart, bro, and they bring that to the table.
But
I
That's
mean,
what
you can have a
this
dog
get
that
into
sit
that. Let's get into
outside
that
and
level
bark.
of breeding.
Yeah, it's a whole different level of breed. You can have a dog sit outside and bark all day long. You can have a dog outside and he digging the channel for no reason. You can have a dog that chew up dog houses and stuff like that and kill their own self. Which all of us that had stuff like that on our yard. But the
I
thing
can write a
is,
book about it.
when you get dogs that when you get dogs and they've been bred for so many years, being tight, they're gonna have to have something to breed into that dog to make it a better dog.
That leads into our next cook up. This is the final one for the night. Um, this was when is it time to outcross? And I want to piggyback on what Fred said before we jump in on the outcross. You know, it's insanity in the way Fred's talking about it, and I'm laughing inside because I'm listening to Fred talk about it. As long as I know Fred been a breeder of American Pit Bull Terriers. And the way he's looking at it is like, how could somebody say something about a breeder incorporating a top of the line, conformationally correct dog into their program? Really, a lot of breeders need to incorporate that into their program to clean up a lot of the stuff that's been going on with some of their dogs. That's something that I appreciate the show community. A lot of brothers is doing the shows, and I salute. I wish my schedule was a little bit more looser because I'm like busy during the summer. So that's the time a lot of the shows go on and stuff. But I tip my hat to all of the brothers doing the shows and winning y'all ribbons and winning because y'all are proving that y'all have conformationally correct dogs. And if you're talking about breeding any kind of animal, you want to be coming in from that standpoint of having a conformationally correct animal. If you bringing in a conformationally correct dog that's upper echelon conformationally correct, it's been awarded because of this. You know, it can only help your program. It can only help the
Wow.
goddamn program.
Wow.
But you know, that's why I'm laughing inside because a lot of people you're talking, but realize I told y'all when we started this podcast, we got the breeders, the conditioners, the historical handlers. Everybody got a different avenue and wavelength that they go through, and they see things through a different light. From a breeding standpoint, health is a big thing because as a breeder, you can see health fall off in your dogs over generations. You can see things start to take a nosedive. That's why we're going to cook up on when is it time to outcross? When is it time to incorporate some new blood on the yard? You walked around your yard, you're starting to see, I'm getting a little fragile out here. Joker's out here getting a little fragile looking, getting a little small. I'm getting a little bit less intelligent. I'm seeing things that I'm not liking. This has occurred over the last breeding I did, or just creating an example for the chat. You seeing things on your yard. That last breeding you did wasn't the most durable dogs. I gotta find something to piggyback off of to enhance my yard. I'm missing things. I got to find it. I've lost something and I gotta go off my yard to go get it. When is it time to outcross? How you go about your outcross? What's the thought process of the outcross? Been on your yard for the last 6 years. Now you gotta find something new. I'll let the panel elaborate. Fred, you want to cook up first? Brown, you want to cook up first? Whoever want to throw it, I'll come back last.
I'll go first because I know, like with being a boys guy, I'm gonna stick to the program. That means I'm gonna stick to the Bolio strands, and I'm gonna stick to the Eli strands. I mean, you got good Eli dogs, and you got Eli dogs that cross good with Bolio's dogs. Then you got good Bolio dogs that cross good with Boyle's dogs, and all of the dogs out of these family groups of dogs ain't the good ones. Sometimes you got to. It's just like having a Boyle's dog. All the Boyle's dogs ain't the good ones. I mean, you just got to pick and choose when you start putting these dogs together, like Brown says. You're picking two good dogs. I mean, if you can pick those two good dogs to come together in a line, and you looking at what they're going to bring to the table, and a lot of times, like you said, what they're going to bring, you know, a lot of times I look at them front legs, they little fragile legs, and then you look at that Bolio dog, he got them thick tree trunks down there. I mean, you need some of that. I mean, if you got them little fragile legs, you need something that's going to thicken up some legs for you. I mean, some of the dogs, they got paper thin hide. I mean, that Bolio dog sometimes make a thicker hide for you. I mean, it's just like with the old family red. That stuff changed the whole gamut of the dog. The teeth, the hide, the structure, the build, the wind. I mean, it's just you got to think about those things. It's just like when they say, "Well, I'm gonna add some Eli to a dog." You bring Eli dog to some dogs, you're gonna bring a whole totally different kind of dog. Just, I mean, and you got to be able to understand the difference between the two. And that's good, Brown.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Man, like with the outcross, you know, you gotta you gotta realize like let's relate the outcross to the pets that come with your dog. You know, do your homework. Find out what was good to go with your dogs first off. You know, there's always homework to be done. Um, Me personally, you know, I go back, I go do homework, like Fred mentioned earlier. You know, go back with the Bolio stuff, go back with the Eli stuff. Mine, this is your project now. You know, this is your project. This is your homework. This is your test. You know, don't go and be like, well, let's start from the beginning. Don't get a dog, or like I said, know your dog, know what you're getting to actually outcross into your blood that you're running. Each dog, like we spoke earlier, one dog would change the whole thing. One dog would change your whole line, whether it's a good dog or bad dog. But one dog would change it all.
All right,
Only one
it's
dog.
real. I'm just gonna come in like this. That shit is a tool, people. That shit is a tool. It's a tool to be used. Now, I'm gonna shout out to 78 and them boys on their chat because I was on there talking to Schoolboy, and he said something that was really profound to me at the time when I was hearing the shit. Because
Right.
I started this off with the damn, you're starting to see your dogs falling off. He came with the approach: don't wait till you see them fall off the outcross. Do it while your dogs are still good. And I thought about that, and I remembered that. And that's two ways of looking at that party. You can try to enhance if you don't want to wait till you start seeing too many faults and then be looking for the outcross to save your yard. You gotta, as a breeder and paying attention to your generations of dogs and your litters of puppies, you immediately see if you fell off a little bit or if it got better. if a person who really breeds dogs and pays attention to their list, you see it very early. If you went up on this on the peak or you went down in the valley, you see it right away. And as Brown alluded to, you got to do your research with these outcrosses. I know a lot of people. This goes into a deep rabbit hole because we have the proven crosses, and you'll hear a lot of people talk about proven crosses, and they are proven crosses. But just don't hear proven cross and say I could use any dog off that family tree and expect to get that result. Individuals do matter in this equation. So when you're looking for outcross, you got to do your research on the blood that has been proven to work. Your blood as far as the outcross, and you have to go into a deeper level of trying to search for an individual in that family tree, a spectacular individual or the best individual you can find to cross with your blood. And then after that, you got to have a process in your mind of what you're really expecting from those puppies. As far as what were you trying to achieve in the outcross? If it was like we alluded to, you were getting fragile, underbites, overshot, it could be skin issues, little things that you noticed popped up. Now you're looking for a fresh gene pool to bring in to address a lot of things that you may have going on or you may foresee that's going to happen to your dogs. A lot of levels to this when it comes to outcrossing. And I really want y'all young brothers to just don't run with that proven cross thing and forget the individuals in the equation. It can't just be any old red boy dog. It just can't be any old Bolio dog. It just can't be any old Eli dog. It can't be that. It has to be an apex individual from that family tree. Because if you're already going down into the valley with your blood, you don't want to find another representative from another family who's already in the valley. So now you're trying to put chicken shit together and make chicken salad. It don't work like that. So please understand that when you're talking about these outcrosses. Go ahead, Brown.
Hey, remember, Buddy got killed in the valley. Who was it? Mufasa? Mufasa dad? You know what I mean? He got killed down there. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to get in the valley. Don't put like this. Don't come out and just go straight into the valley, man. You know, at the end of the day,
you know, niggas got kids, boy. I immediately knew what he was talking about.
Hey, we all grown men, man. You know what I mean? Like, this is life. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of us don't recognize the chance to voice your opinion. You know, we all grown men. Yo, we can't walk around. This is a peaceful show. You know what I mean? It's nothing. It's we talking about a peaceful topic, which is the American Pit Bull Terrier. You know, so it's not all about what it always seems. We grown. You know what I mean? We grown. I don't got nothing to prove to nobody. Like I said, man, I'm out here just trying to, you know, put the best with the best. You know what I mean? And hope for the best. But
and don't what was that? Don't get killed in the valley. No, I'm telling you, brothers, don't get killed in the valley. Don't go off your yard and get a piss poor representative. I'm gonna just use my sorrow. Use my Sorrow's dog as an example. You got hyenas, Scar. I took a different approach. I started saying I was gonna raise outcross dogs that I wanted to use. You can pay for a stud for outcross. There's a lot of ways you can outblood. You can pay for a stud. You can acquire outcross dog. And that was the approach I took when I played with the sorrel stuff. I took it from this aspect. I said, okay, it's going to be hard for me to get the information I really want. Because me and Fred was talking about that move before I did it. And I was like, I'm trying to find something that I could cross to my Boyle stuff, my Balls Bolio dogs, without having to always go into the red boy jocko or termite family as far as the outcross. And some of the other stuff that I had was blended so well into the Boyles dogs, that Ciroc stuff, all that. We blended it. It wasn't even like it was out anymore. It was already in the dogs and it was already reproducing itself. So I really couldn't look at those dogs in the pedigree at a certain point as I still had outcross blood in there. So hybrid vigor and all of that stuff was out the door. I had essentially created a line off of the blood that I was blending because of the way I was breeding. So I had to go off the yard. I said, well, damn. I was thinking about a stud. I was thinking about a lot of different things. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go for some old school blood, but I'm not even going to do the stud. I'm just going to get a puppy, preferably a female, because I already had a fortress.
A lot of people was against it. A lot of people.
Everybody was against it. When I said, I was like, man, I'm going to grab me up one of the Sorrel's dog. I'm going to just try the Sorrel's cross. I'm going to get a puppy and see how it work out. Now, you had the real people, you had some haters, you had everything. You had a high mixture of people telling me what I should and shouldn't do.
Don't do it.
So I went and bust the move. I acquired my puppy and I put all my money in. Pretty much. I pushed my money to the middle of the table. I said, I'm going to raise the dog, see if it turns out. If I like it, I'm going to move forward with it. If not, at least I know I'm not going to fuck with this family tree off of this experience. But lo and behold, this little dog turned out to be the truth. And all the people who hated on the person that I got the dog from, it astounded me because I actually got a chance to visit her yard. And I saw her animals and I was impressed. I was highly impressed from what I saw. And I was just amazed, like, you know, the amount of hate that this woman could get dealing in these dogs. And she had a better yard than I've seen half of the brothers walking around here with. And I'm just being honest, not taking no shot. And on top of that, she sold me a very high quality puppy. Very high. I have no issues. I fed this dog for 6-7 years. I have no issues with this dog. And I raised her. I bonded with her. I got to know her. I saw the shit I didn't like about her. I saw the shit I did like about her. And I could make a proper pairing because I already had a whole lineup of males that I personally bred. I just needed a nice outcross bitch. And from using this dog, I got better durability with the dogs, more denser bone structure, bigger teeth. I didn't lose not an ounce of drive in any of these dogs. Actually, the prey drive became even more intense. So this is the circumstances for implicating something in your yard and how it works out on the good note. Because this worked out pretty good. I'm already doing a grandmother-grandson breeding 7 years later down the road. I'm able to do some of these breedings. I can do a breeding with her. And I know I have something in my what we say in the kitchen. I got a recipe in the kitchen that I know that's proven to work for me. So perfect situation for outcross. And another good situation how to approach it. It don't always have to be a stud. I mean, depending on what your patience is and how serious you are about creating something better, you can buy it as a puppy and raise it on your yard, and then you own it. Anytime you want to use that outcross dog, you ain't got to pick up no phone or call anybody. It's already part of your yard. It's there. It's a tool in the toolbox that's ready to be used when it needs to be used. For layman's terms. Anybody else cooking up on that?
Yeah, I wanted just to add one little piece to it. You know, me and you and Brown, we know quite a few dogs that we added to our programs. And when we added those dogs to the program, we seen how it affected the dogs that were on the yard already. Sometimes it would be a negative, and sometimes it would be a positive. And then we found out if we needed to use less of that dog or more of that dog. And I believe on every yard, and no matter who yard it is, we find out those things, and sometimes we share it with others, and sometimes it never be shared. And sometimes
Mm-hmm.
people, some guys let the young bucks go through the bad times on their own, and don't never try to help them out. They just let you go on to your own devices, and sometimes it gets so debilitating that you don't even want to mess with dogs no more.
Yeah, you
But
leave them up in that
I
water.
can look at it like with Brown and Thompson. When I've seen things that were going south, I let these guys know, give them a heads up, where they can start looking for it, and they'll start being able to change their yard in a way that would affect a good result. Because that's what we're looking for, nothing but good results.
Right, right,
Yes,
right. That's
sir.
true. That's true. I ain't gonna lie. That's all we looking for is good results. Um,
That's all.
quality.
That's what you want at the end of the day. Good dogs. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, you want quality. Like I said, quality over quantity. Um, never scare away. If you need an out, look at what you putting into it. Look at what you need
Yeah.
to your line. You got to do homework, right? Look at what's needed to your line. You know,
But with
you're not the
Brown, that
first.
comes honesty with that
Yeah,
Brown.
yeah, you're not
You
the
gotta be
first.
honest with yourself.
Yeah, you're not the first to try it now.
Y'all,
That's the thing about this
you
dog
and
thing.
you gotta
You're not the first to try it, son. Only
and
thing
you
you
gotta
can
be
do
honest
is
with yourself.
when you do it, make sure you're doing it for you and what you expect to see.
Uh,
For an out, make sure that out is going to help your line versus hurting your line. When you get that little puppies, go through them puppies. You know what I mean? Go through them puppies. Sit on them
man,
puppies.
that's why you gotta do them. That's why you do them out. I just don't. I be hearing the tone of the emails and people just thinking, oh yeah, I could just do an outcross and I'm just gonna get phenomenal dogs, and it don't. And like Fred just alluded to, it's gonna be good ones and bad ones in those crosses. You have to do your research about those crosses. If you're thinking you're just gonna pull off crosses and get these super hybrid vigor type dogs, that shit ain't like that, bro. It really
It's
ain't.
like
It
it's
can
like
hurt
it's
you.
like a if you think you're gonna go out there and jump and do that shit like that, it's like it's it's like a 60 to 70% chance you're gonna fail because somebody else done did it better than you. Somebody else done did more homework than you. Somebody else done know what they got and what they're bringing to the table and what they're looking for this blood or this out to bring to the table versus like they say like red boy dogs. You got some that got mouth. You know you got some that don't got mouth. Shows other. But at the end of the day, know what this is going to bring to this table. Know what you want to bring to your table. Whether it's a better body, you know what I mean, longer legs. You need legs. You know what I mean? You need some better hardware because one thing about when you breeding this thing and you're breeding it your way, don't forget, like you might be tightening it up too much. You might be doing this,
Hmm.
you might be doing that. So now you're seeing the effects like the topic is about. Now it's time to get it out.
Yeah, because I seen brothers
Time
jump
to
off
get
the
it out,
porch.
yo.
I seen brothers jump off the porch and think they doing an outcross, but those dogs are really closer related than they ever thought. Just like Fred alluded to. That's when reading pedigrees and this type of shit, it starts to fucking matter. Because then when you research some of this stuff, you may find out you're interested in this blood, the outcross, but it's really not an outcross at all. Those dogs are related back down the line. And here you go doing a breeding, thinking you about to get some type of outcross, and them dogs come out like they're line bred or inbred. Like
And
Fact.
that has happened too.
so many
Like
times. Because like I
personally
said,
with me, I've
because
done it. I've had it happen to me. So
a lot of times they don't be looking at the brothers and the sisters and the cousins and stuff like that. You got to start looking at that. I mean, it might
Yeah.
just be a quarter of that blood in the dog that you breed to, but that quarter might make a great difference. And
A
then,
great deal.
I just want to say this one thing too, Thompson, that a lot of these guys on this podcast, just remember when you do make an outcross and you committed to that outcross, see it through. Because sometimes you get around some guys and they start saying bad things about the outcross that you did. Just like, you know, like I said with my old family red, Rufus Channel and stuff, I had to believe in it. Just like with
mhm.
Thompson with his Sorrel stuff. He got to believe in that. Not me, not Brown. You feel me? Shoot. Hey, he got to feed
It's
that, not
facts.
me. I mean,
And
yo,
that's a 7 year. That's what that dog is 6 going on 7, I think, something like
yeah,
that. That dog's
yeah,
older. So
yeah.
you talking about that's a 7 year of riding that car. I've
And
been in that car a long goddamn time.
wonder if you wonder if you was through the towel in when people first started saying they didn't like them. I don't like them Sorrel dogs. I don't really like them dogs. Wonder if you threw it in back then. You would have never did the
Uh,
breed. You
I
would have
don't
never
know.
used the dog. You know what I mean?
I heard it all, Fred, but at the same damn time, what they couldn't tell me what I seen with my two own eyes. And I saw
Nah,
that lady yard. I
that,
seen that lady yard, and I seen them dogs, and I seen the parents.
hey,
I saw the litter mates. I saw. I think she had 4 of them, and I was picking up one, and she had 2 that she was keeping, and another one going out or something like that. I got
man,
pretty much the gist of that litter, and I saw the consistency. It was a level of consistency on that yard. You couldn't deny it if you wanted to. If you did, you was just hating. But she had something that was very consistent and locked in across the board, and they was all impressive. They was all impressive, man. Very nice yard of dogs that lady had. Very nice yard of dogs.
that's what I'm talking
Like,
about.
like Pitbull City said, man, you gotta see it through. You know, like he said with the old family Rufus, he had to see it through. You know,
Huh?
And
you gotta
hey
see it
Brown,
through.
hey Brown, and I'm still putting it in, still putting in
Still to
work.
this day,
Hey,
Fred will feed
I,
that to the
hey,
very end.
hey, cuz I'm so adamant about it, and I'm so what you call it, excited about it. That I still got the excitement about that stuff that I did when I first bred to that dog, and that dog been dead,
Uh,
been dead.
they can hear it in your voice. That's something you're passionate about. Because me and you talk about it all the time, and I know you will always feed that. You will always have room on your yard for
What?
that stuff right there. Fred ain't never
What?
getting rid of that stuff. Fred will
No,
sell some top of the line dogs to keep room for those dogs for him. He will never.
yep,
That's his little sauce right there.
that's my sauce. See that you got that right. I was saying like the old man used to say, you got that right. You got that right.
That's
I'm putting
Fred's
that in
sauce
my
right there.
collard greens. I'm putting that in my collard greens.
I
Yes,
got my
sir.
little. I got my little. I appreciate where you at with it because now I know what you feel like now. When you have something for that a long period of time and you've been tweaking it and you get it right to where you want it, and then you cross it out to your other stuff that you've been putting together, and it's like, damn, I can't go wrong with this shit. I know exactly how you feel now. I know exactly how you feel. That's a good place to be in with these dogs too. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Right.
But hey, we had an epic cookout tonight, man. We had an epic cookout tonight. 2 hours in, man. We're gonna
Salute,
go ahead and wrap
salute,
this one
salute.
up. And I pushed it to 7:30, so yeah, we wrapping up 9:30, just in time to watch a movie, chill out, relax. I appreciate everybody who swung through in this chat and came through on this Saturday night show. Like I said, this ain't something that we may consistently do. I got to check with my two brothers on the panel and see what they schedule looking like. But we still try to push this info out to the young brothers. Like I said, I appreciate everybody who's coming through. And this was intended for the young bulls. How this show was created. So we always going to come up here and shoot some free knowledge out here for the young bulls trying to get started. I want to say no dogs bred, sold, trained, raised, advertised for any illegal purposes whatsoever. Also, you can reach Fred at Fred Davis on Facebook. You can check out Brother Brown on Brown's Kennels on YouTube. Send him a message if you need to reach out. Also, when it comes to certain dogs, I may be passing stuff on Fred in the future. Y'all check him out on that Facebook because I'm busy. I'm busy as all out hell. I love to talk to everybody and have conversations about dogs, but it's just unrealistic with my schedule. And I know the other brothers are busy. So I appreciate Fred for helping me out too. Appreciate you, Fred, on that note. Anything y'all need to close out with before we end this show, y'all?
Everything is clear on my mind, man. I just appreciate everybody coming out on the Saturday night. I know everybody's busy, but we really appreciate it. And Thompson, no problem, man. I like to see all else get ahead. So, you know, sometimes it takes a brother to help another.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I appreciate you helping me out too. Y'all check out the Ronald Boyles Facebook page? Fred.
I made it private. It was public, but I had some guys that was complaining about it being public, which I liked it public because, you know, they weren't able to sit there and say stupid stuff. But, you know, I guess some people don't want other people to know what they're doing on sites and stuff. But, you know, I tell you one thing, if I would have had the right mind, I would have left it public. And the ones that didn't
Well,
like
hey,
it.
if you missed out, you missed. If you missed out, you missed the fuck out. It's a private page now, so that's dead. You ain't got to give no
dead in the
explanations.
water. So
if
you want to be a part of the Ronald Boyles page, you're gonna have to look for our boys, the old stuff, and I'll get you in there.
Yeah, that's the man you got to see. That's the man you got to see. Brian, what you cooking on before we get off of this show tonight?
Man, I just hope everybody enjoyed themselves. Got something out the conversations. You know, take care of your hounds, man. Take care of your hounds, and you know, keep bulldogging. You know what I mean? Just keep bulldogging. For real, you can check me out on
That's the truth, man.
Yeah, check me out on Instagram. You know, trying to get back into the YouTube streets. Facebook. But if you want to reach me, brownkennels@gmail.com. And like I said, man, appreciate you guys for just listening, man. Hope y'all, you know, go the right way with it.
Hey, man. I appreciate y'all brothers again. I appreciate everybody swinging through on Saturday night. Y'all pay attention to my community page. When I do the shows, I'm gonna try to be better. I posted this one late day, early this morning. I usually try to post it about 2 or 3 days before we do a show. I apologize for that. But check out my community page, and when we do a show, I'll post it a couple of days ahead with a date and time. And we just gonna be winging it now. You know, if I took some something, I'm just, whenever we could do the shows, when we could do the shows. So that's how we came up to work. But I appreciate everybody swinging through. Y'all have a blessed one.